started. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lily Pinedo Kiangay. I serve as the Program Director for the Chicanx Latinx Student Success Center, and I am thrilled to welcome you all today to our Pásale time-sensitive academic advising information session. And I would like to introduce our facilitator this afternoon, which is Jesus Santos. Jesus is an academic advisor with the Engineering Student Success Center, and he has a presentation for you all today that will hopefully inform you of key information that you need to know, especially within these first couple of weeks at the start of the semester. And we will reserve the end for any question and answers that folks may have. Please also know that this is being recorded and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel for folks who were not able to join us. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Jesus Santos.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lily. That's the moment when if you watch any like sport or live action, like you hear like the clap and everything. But thank you everyone so much for attending today, and also for watching it later on. Again, my name is Jesus Santos. I work as an Engineering Student Success Center academic advisor. Also, I started our Spartan Sophomore Success Program, which does integrate a lot of aspects for fresh, sophomore, juniors, incoming transfer, and even seniors that could find a lot of our programs beneficial. So to name some of them, one of them is a time management workshop. Others are faculty panels with each individual College of Engineering major. So that way you get to know a little bit of the staff and faculty. And then some other presentations, which include how to get a scholarship and writing the scholarship essays and everything with financial aid, as well as looking way more into the future with planning for life after SJSU, whether you want to go for more education or you want to get a job, and what you should be preparing towards each route. So yes, my name is Jesus Santos. Spanish is my first language, so I do have some students who prefer for me to talk to them in Spanish during our advising sessions. So if you ever want to go to my Centro hours, they're on Thursdays at 12 p.m. So noontime. And yeah, we can talk in any language as long as it's English or Spanish, because those are the ones that I know. And yeah, any questions that you have in regards to the College of Engineering, maybe it's changing your major to engineering and like what classes and what GPAs you would need in order to go through each of the majors of the College of Engineering. So some of the majors that we have are software engineering and computer engineering, which is kind of like the top tier major if you're switching into the College of Engineering that you might want to know more information about. That includes to enter into that major a 3.6 GPA. Then it's electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. Those are 3.2 GPAs in order to get into that class. Then aerospace engineering, which is a 3.0 GPA in order to get into that major. Civil engineering, which is 2.8 GPA, and biomedical, chemical, and materials engineering, which is 2.5 GPA, and then 2.0 GPA being industrial systems engineering, industrial technology, and aviation. So in case you're interested in switching majors within the College of Engineering or switching to the College of Engineering, that's pretty much the GPA breakdown that you probably want to start having in mind for each selected major. Of course, there's going to be selected classes that you would need to do for each of those major, like Math 30, 31, chemistry, depending on the major. But that, for more specific, please see me during one of my El Centro hours or make an appointment with me during Spartan Connect. Also, if you are emailing, I do ask students, to give us about 2 business days in between emails because we are being inundated with a lot of emails since everything is online now. But don't wait too much after 2 business days because, you always want to get your questions answered as well, especially during the first 2 to 3 weeks of the semester, which is when there's a lot of time-sensitive information. For example, the last day to drop classes, which is a very time-sensitive information for you to have, it is, sorry, I want to make sure I have the right date for you. So the last day to drop classes is going to be August 31st. And you can continue adding classes. You might need ad codes or departmental consent for some of the classes. On the last date that you can add is September 8th. What I do advise the students that are registering late for these classes is to still hold yourself accountable for the classes that you're registering with. For example, like if you just register into English 1A, I do ask students to email the professor, find out what assignments you've missed and what you can do in order to make that up. Because, you know, it is your responsibility to make sure that you get on top of these homework assignments and to keep up a good GPA that you would need for the major. Also, other important things for you to know as well, aside from just adding and change of major, is that we're actually having a drop-in hours advising from 11 to 12 and 1 to 2, Monday through Friday. So if you do have an immediate question or you do need a little bit more of the like guidance and just help with last minute things, we are having 3 advisors that are available Monday through Friday, 11 to 12 and 1 to 2. If you need more specific or different hours, please connect with us via Spartan Connect or send us an email. So yeah, with late registration, there is a petition process where you would have to ask the professor for an ad code, then submit that ad code in like while you're registering, so that way it overrides you because the system is going to block you, so it's going to override that block. So for that, you can also see our live virtual front desk. So we have student peer advisors that would help you in dropping, adding a class if you have questions with that. And they're available throughout the day. So to help you get any questions answered. And the day is 8:30 a.m. To 12 p.m. and then 1 to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. So yeah, so I talked a little bit about how you can make appointments with me. So if you know my El Centro hours does not work for you, I definitely recommend for you to either come in through drop-in, which we're gonna have up until September 4th. And if those hours don't work for you either, then you can make an appointment with me via Spartan Connect. You can go on our ESSC website. So typically, if you put in sjsu.com/ESSC or just Google, honestly, SJSU ESSC, it brings you to our website and then it says meet advisor and then you can make an appointment with us right there. So I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about and take you step by step on how to do that. So typically I do Google pretty much everything just to like help me keep track of things. So SJSU, and then I put ESSC. That's going to take you to our website. And here you can go live help from the front desk and it tells you the hours right there. You can email us. Typical response time is 48 hours. So like 2 business days, Monday through Friday. And then right here, you can see an advisor. And of course, my view is going to be a little bit different from being an advisor, but you can go ahead and click on Seeing an Advisor. It's going to take you here to Spartan Connect. And then you're going to click on your Spartan Connect. And then it's going to ask you to make either you want an advising appointment or tutoring appointment. And since I'm an advisor, you're going to want to make an advising appointment. And then it's going to ask you to select a service. So let's see if until what part it lets me. So it's loading, but yeah, it looks a little different for me from being an advisor. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you sign in and then you're able to select a service. So for selecting a service, if you click academic check-in or course planning, it's not gonna view you to any advisor because those are too broad. So we're working on breaking down like everything that we're seeing and then you can select a specific major. So right now we're currently advising all ISE students, so industrial systems engineering students, all electrical engineering students, we're advising starting this semester, mechanical engineering students up until 90 units. So that means if you are fresh, sophomore, or junior with less than 90 units, or transfer student, you're able to see us at the ESSC. We're also advising, aside from ME, ISC, and EE, BME, so biomedical engineering. And that's students with less than 60 units. So typically, your first or second year student, or if you have less than 60 units, you're able to see the ESSC for BME advising. We're working on still industrial technology, but that's been changed. It used to be Dr. Fred Perez. Now it's his name is Neil. To find out the last name or their contact information, you know what? Let's find it out together, so that way you know their contact information. So again, I literally Google everything. So it's gonna take you to the Google site, yay! Then you're gonna go. So Neil. So that's what I know from Neil. So Neil and industrial technology. And you want to make sure that you put SJSU because that's the college that we go to. So faculty and staff, perfect. And then, Dr. Perez is still your department chair. So if you are industrial technology or aviation, please feel free to continue to see Dr. Perez. And Neil, right here, Mr. Daniel Neal. So I even spelled Neal wrong, so sorry about that. But Daniel Neal, so daniel.neal@sjsu.edu. If you're industrial technology, he's going to be your major advisor. For aviation, we have Ali Zargar, Dr. Zargar, and he's going to be your department chair. But we're also working on seeing those majors as well full-time. So right now you're hearing major advising, ESSC advising. What's the difference between the two? So that's a very normal question, because for some things you can see us at the ESSC. For other things, you have to see your major department. And typically you're never wrong with seeing the ESSC, because if anything, we can refer you out. We can check your GE advising, seeing like, are you keeping track of your GEs? Is there an easier way to do your GEs that takes a lot less classes? Are there other easier GEs for you to take? Then we also see you for if you're eligible to graduate. So how do I apply for graduation? What do I need to do? Do I even know that I needed to apply for graduation? So we do see you on those topics as well. Other things is like course planning, like we said earlier. If it's specific upper divisional major courses, we're going to ask you to see like either your department chair or your major advising. So that's kind of like where we work together. And then we do have we host programs and events aimed for your academic success. So we host change of major workshops in case you are interested in changing your major, time management workshops, self-care, which is super, super important, especially during these crazy times that there seems like there's always something going on. But we also have tutoring resources, SJSU resources, and then I talked a little bit about financial aid and the faculty panels earlier. And all of our programs is to help you grow academically, professionally, socially, hopefully getting to meet and interact with other students, and also civic, how is your time here at SJSU, how you can spend that out in the real world, making a difference. So that's kind of where we hope to go with our programs. Yeah, so that's most of what I wanted to discuss. So academic advising at our center. So right now we are in the process of getting a new advisor. As I previously mentioned, we are in the process of just doing a lot of things. And right now we're just waiting for this new advisor to pretty much just sign all the paperwork that comes with it. But she'll be joining our team. And she's also Latinx advisor. So if you do feel free to see myself or see Liliana Alonso, she will be starting with us full time, I believe, after Labor Day weekend. So Yeah, so feel free to see me or her, or there's also Allery Flandes. So she focuses, we all have kind of like a specific focus. So she focuses predominantly on students on probation and helping you get out of probation. I do disqualification and I help you get back to school and the sophomore success. And then Shelby helps you, Miss Shelby Taylor, she helps you with graduation and applying towards graduation. So we do specialize in a little bit of everything. So if like, let's say your comfort level is more to see me or see Allery or see Lily or see Shelby, we are trained in every single area. So you can see us there. It's just kind of like residence expert kind of thing for like specific departments. And yeah, you can see multiple advisors. Typically what I do see from my practice of being an advisor is that students kind of tend to go with somebody that they've built a connection or that they've made a connection with. So, but that's also not to say like if you feel that you can make a stronger connection with someone else, not to follow that. It's all about your journey and how you decide to carry yourself. So if you do want to make more networking connections or you do want to make more, just expanding your horizons, I always say, see more than one advisor, because the way I advise versus the way that Allery or Lily advise, maybe like completely different, and maybe they caught something that I didn't on your student records, and same thing, like maybe I catch something that someone else did not. So it's always important to like check in with someone. And I always say check in with someone at least once a semester, at the very least once a semester, because we do put ESSC holds on your account. So like you'll have an ESSC hold for your engineering 10 class. So if you're currently taking engineering 10 or you plan on taking it, know that there's going to be a hold on your account if you do not see either Jack Waraki, Dr. Waraki, Dr. Smita Duora, or Dr. Ahmed Banafa, who are our faculty advisors, but also they're professors for your engineering 10. So they want to see you. They want to discuss about your My Planner and discuss about what classes you should do when. So it's really super helpful for you to see them. And they're really the ones that are trained to like plan a long, extensive 4-year, 5-year plan, which happens often. I think a lot of the times we're taught to believe whatever's on television, or what we hear people say of like, oh, you have to do college in 4 years. With engineering, I think the 4-year graduation rate, it's like about 20, 35, don't quote me on that. But yeah, a lot of our students take a little bit longer to graduate because it is a very heavy and dense amount of work that you have to do. Like, for example, if you start at Math 19, you have to do Math 19, 30, 31, 32, 33. If you're in CMPE, so computer engineering or software, you have to do Math 42. So that's basically 3 years of math, and then you start with your upper divisional classes. So it is a lot of requirements that you do have to do. But please speak to us so that we can help you out on course planning. But yeah, you can definitely see more advisors than once, and definitely the time that you should see an advisor would be late September, October. So you'll be registering for spring semester late October/early November, depending on your class status and how many units you have. So make sure that you see someone there. We can take care of your holds. So speaking again back on hold, so ESSC hold, another hold that you're going to have is a probation hold if you are on probation, which means it's just basically meeting with us. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened then, what's going on now, how we can help you succeed. So that's removed by seeing an advisor as well. So ESSC hold, that's engineering 10 advisor. Probation hold, that's myself, Lily, sorry, not Lily, the director here, Lily Alfonso from ESSC, Allery Flandes, or Shelby Taylor. So we can remove those holds. And then you're going to have a major advising hold. So unless you're in BME and you're under 60 units, unless you're in ME and you're above 90 units, and unless you're in EE or ISC, we cannot remove your hold. So I can only remove holds again for BME under 60 units, ME, mechanical engineering, for under 90 units, then EE, all units and then ISC all units as well. So you can see us for those. If not, we're going to redirect you and ask for you to speak to either your department chair or your major advisor so that they can answer major specific questions that you may have. And they're also really good people for you to know because they know a lot about internships, a lot about the trends in the engineering world, and also like how to help you get connected and what they did. However, I'm also doing the faculty panel, and one is not like, if you go to the faculty panel, that means that you hold this off. That's just an added event. And that's really more so that the month of October, they're going to be different faculty panels events. Actually, let me share my screen so that you can see the list of events that we are having. So again, going back to Google, SJSU ESSC. We just launched this site. So let me actually, to make it a lot easier, let me share this screen instead. Yeah, it's going to be throughout the month of October that you are going to have the opportunity to meet with the professors at the at the College of Engineering. And that's really, again, to like help you with your course planning, help you with kind of like getting to know them and just meeting them as more than just a professor, maybe like meeting them as a mentor, meeting them in a way that's not so stressful and not so in the classroom, because we do understand that it is a little bit daunting to talk to a professor and just kind of like working with them, but they're really like nice people and really people that want to see you succeed and do well. So it is important for you to build a connection with them and be able to, kind of like get that mentoring and get that, those tips that they really have, because they are super knowledgeable in everything that's going on for the specific trends that you have for like being engineering, or if you want to switch into engineering. So since I already have the page up, I do want you to see the events that we're doing, because I do think there are a lot of events that students can benefit from. So this is our sophomore success website, and there's going to be a lot more. So as you can see, we already had a sophomore welcome, and then we're doing a time management. And again, this is not only if you are a sophomore. Please feel free, if any of these workshops call out to you, feel free to attend them. So tomorrow we're having a time management workshop from 1 to 2 p.m. Tomorrow, August 27th, from 1 to 2 p.m. Then the following week, we're having tutoring and really speaking to the directors of the Peer Connections and Writing Center, so that way you know kind of like the difference of students who attend tutoring versus if you don't. We understand that studying abroad may look a little bit different, but if that is something that you were hoping to do, meeting with the study abroad program, so that way you know what are your options and where you can go. So that's going to be September 9th and 10th from 1 to 3 p.m. And then Resumania, which a lot of people, doesn't matter if you're a senior, Frosh, like everybody can get a little help with their resume, with Career Center. Feel free to attend for that one. And starting October 1st, you can see all the different faculty meet and greet and faculty panels that we'll have for the different majors, so that way you get to know them a little bit more. But also sneaking in October 13th, what careers you can do with your specific major. So this is going to be concentrated more on engineering. So if you are planning on changing your major to engineering, or if you are planning on continuing as an engineering student, and you're like, okay, what is biomedical engineering? What can I do with it? This is a perfect opportunity for you to go. Or you can go to the BME professor meet and greet, because that's a great question to ask for them as well. We did develop a general engineering major which kicked off this year. So actually from 10 different majors to now 11. So general engineering is our newest major. So you can also come and find out what is general engineering? What would I be learning in general engineering? And yeah, computer engineering. And then this is just engineering specifically, non-specifically. So it would be different departments talking a little bit about their own engineering concentration, their own journey, and like what they had to do. How to get a scholarship, putting that for 2 days, November 10th and November 18th. And then we're going to end the semester with Career versus School or Life After SJSU to help you think and plan ahead. So that way you know how to like keep track of your GPA and how to keep track of like what you need to do in order to get to the next level. But yeah, that's pretty much a lot of our focus and what we do. And I want to see if there's anything else I'm leaving behind. I think, yeah, aside from like major advising, we're really a lot more holistically, you know, we do understand that times are super difficult right now with not only COVID, but the fires and extra added stressors in your life. And we understand that not every student is like a cookie cutter, like type like a dough where, you know, you're pretty much similar to the next student next to you. We do understand that, and we do try to work with you individually as a person. So that's really also what we try to see each student's different, you know, backgrounds, like not only like where you come from, but like background in education. Like, you know, like do you feel a little like nervous about taking physics 50? How we can help you prepare for physics 50, maybe taking physics 49. Are you a little bit more nervous about your writing because, you know, you have focused so much of your life into your math and sciences? So how can now you become a stronger writer? So, you know, we can give you like those tips and advice. And rather than, you know, working against the things that you don't feel like strongly about, like, oh, I don't like reading and writing, not putting you in a class like AMS 1A where it's heavy reading and writing, you know, but how can we meet in the middle with the skills that you have and what you already have to bring to the table? How can we maximize that and make you feel as if like, yes, I'm ready for this class. I'm totally empowered and I feel like I can do my best with this class, with the resources that I have and things that are available to me. And last, but definitely not least, a purpose that I have for academic advising. Really, my only purpose to have for academic advising is to make you feel heard, make you feel understood, and make you feel empowered to do the work that you're going to do. So for me, the most important part is making you feel heard, because a lot of the times it's very easy to get lost in the shuffle and feel like, you know, your voice doesn't really have a voice or doesn't carry anything to it, because you may feel like, oh, these departments are not listening to me. They're not getting back to me in enough time. Like that hopelessness feeling. And I never want you to feel like that during my advising sessions. So definitely making you feel heard and understood is my top priority. Understood goes 50-50. So a lot of the times, you know, what necessarily exactly what you want is not exactly what you can get, because there are policies and there are like prerequisites to things, and then there are like rules and regulations that can make that a little bit more difficult, but we can always advise on how you can get around it or how you can get through it, or other different ways that you can, you know, continue to persist towards that specific question that you have. But most importantly, one, getting it answered, and two, seeing what else you can do after it. So yeah, and then feeling empowered, for me, that's also really super big, because, you know, you kind of need to have that ownership of, yeah, I can do this, so that way you feel confident enough in those classes to be able to do really well.
Thank you, Jesus, for all of that information. It was a lot, but it was very informative. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about that. I do have a couple of universal questions for you. But before I do ask those questions, I just want to make sure that folks that are listening to us today understand the importance of meeting with your academic advisor, not only when you need them, because by the time you need them, as Jesus had mentioned, they are constantly busy. Sometimes it could take a few days to get responses back to you because they just have a lot of students that they're meeting with. And so I just want to emphasize the importance of reaching out to Jesus and to the other advisors earlier on in the semester and multiple times during the semester. So we do have really key times to receive academic advising during the year. So Jesus, you had mentioned the first 2 weeks of the semester, and then there's obviously registration for the upcoming semester. That's usually mid-semester, believe it or not. So you start registering for classes for spring 2021 in October, and that comes around really quickly. So we don't want folks to feel that you could only meet with advisors twice a semester. Really, it's about, we talked about conocimiento, getting to know your advisors. You can meet with them multiple times so they can get to know you, your personal career, and your academic aspirations, and how can they support you in that way. It's not just class scheduling, which is something that I want to remind our students, that it's not, you don't just go to advisors to talk about what classes do I take next semester. But of course, that is a really important one. So I just want to encourage everybody to reach out to Jesus. He identified his hours during this fall semester, both for Centro and then, of course, where you can find him via the ESSC. So I just want to encourage people to get to know Jesus and meet with them more than just once. So with that being said, I did have 2 questions for you, Jesus. The first one being, for students who might be in their first year at San Jose State, whether you're a freshman or you are a transfer student, what's the earliest I can meet with you to discuss maybe the possibility of switching to a different engineering department? So I might have come in as industrial engineering, but maybe I want to go into biomedical engineering. And I'm already, maybe for this semester, I'm set with my classes for the different major, but I want to switch out of it. What's the earliest I can do that, and what would be that process?
As soon as you're enrolled at San Jose State, like you're a matriculated student, you have your ID number, you're able to go on Spartan Connect. So I've been meeting already with students before the semester started to do those change of major, or just, hey, like I don't have any classes, like I kind of need help, or I need to add more classes, I need help. So as early as like you're on Spartan Connect, you're able to like start your appointments. I do recommend at the very least to meet with us twice, once at the first few weeks of school, because you do want to find out what deadlines are important. And you do, again, want to get your class schedule double checked. Like, are these the best courses that I'm taking? Are these the courses that would lead me to this major, like the fastest? Or maybe you just have any like specific questions where we can like pinpoint you to the right department, or give you the policies of like what we have to do. So you can start making appointments as early as like, before you even start the semester. That's even better. So that way we're a little less busy, and then you're still getting your questions answered with enough time before deadlines really start, attacking you. And like Lily said, my favorite part also of advising is those mentorship relationships that you build with students. I have a few students that I'm like, oh yeah, like there's this event that would really be beneficial. So I think of like my mentoring students who are like really like wanting to get involved with a lot of things. So, making that mentorship relationship is really, really key in finding out other little things, like little advantages and little opportunities that we might have here or there. Like you might get those in like a mass email, but you're more likely to check them if you're like, oh, that's Jesus, that's my mentor, that's like somebody that I know is looking out for me. So they're not just going to send me any random information. They're really like sending this to me with a purpose. So that's really a very cool part of like having an advisor as kind of like your mentor, because we are looking out for you. Or you can let them know too, like just let me know if like there's any events or anything like that that you would feel like I would benefit from. So again, that kind of like free flow of communication.
Thank you, Jesus. My second question is related to the new policy around the extended wait list. So before, it used to be that if you were placed on a wait list for a class, once the first day of school started, the wait list would disappear. And at that point, you would need to go up to a professor and request an add code to add a class. Can you tell us what that new extension deadline is and how that works?
Yeah, so the new extension deadlines, when it comes to adding classes, you have up until September 8th to add those classes. For some, you do still need the add codes. For others, like I helped 2 students today to register in those classes. Typically, after the 16th, after August 16th, you kind of need that permission. Well, August 16th this year, next year it might change. But you do need those permission codes, and like you would need to like crash in the class, talk to the professor after. Now with being online, we can't do that. So it is a little bit easier to just add the classes. But for some other classes, they're departmental consent only. For example, like Math 19. So you would need to ask the math department for that add code for that class, or you may need to ask the professor via email for that class. But again, being that we're already first full week into the swing of things, you might want to do that ASAP, so that way you're not missing so much of the class assignments. Because what I don't want for you is to like start this class on the 3rd week of school and then you are feeling lost because you missed 2 weeks of material, especially with a class like math where you're meeting like 3 to 4 times a week, including labs and stuff. So, just trying to like get those classes that you need right away. If not, I also recommend students to do math classes. If there's no more math offered at SJSU, you can do them at community college and just transfer those over. The only thing is it's going to be a little bit of a hassle for spring to get the math continuing after because you didn't do it here. But we can always work with that, work with unofficial transcripts and sending it to professors so that way you can be overridden into that class. Or maybe just taking the PPA to override your Math 19. PPA stands for Pre-Calculus Proficiency Assessment. Sorry, sometimes I get into my acronyms and forget that it can leave people lost.
Thank you. Yeah, and just a reminder, so the wait list will remain active until the 27th of this month. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's still 11:59 p.m. So mm-hmm. Students, if you're still on that wait list, do not hesitate to ask any questions to your faculty members about your position in the wait list, but it will still be active through actually tomorrow's
36 hours, 35 now.
So that will be tomorrow, but if a seat does become available and you meet all the requisites for the course, then you'll be automatically added to the class. If not, you would need an add code, and as Jesus mentioned, September 8th will be the last day to add that class. So thank you. So I'm gonna turn it over to see if there are any folks here with us today. If you have any questions for us, if they're universal in nature, we'll go ahead and keep recording. If you feel that these are more personal questions, please let us know in the chat so that we can stop the recording and have those discussions and conversations. But we'll open it up right now. I know that there was, I think, Edwin, you had a universal question to ask, so I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, yes. So my question was if the Engineering Student Success Center had any type of social media or way students can be updated with the different reminders or events or workshops hosted by the center.
Yeah. So Dr. Bonafa, who's one of our faculty advisors, he actually is in charge of our ESSC Facebook page. So I don't know exactly what that looks like. I haven't really added them, but I assume if you go on, let me try again, like always, Google ESSC JSU. Oh yeah, it's right there. Like if you Google that, it's the first option that comes up. So it's facebook.com/SJSU ESSC. So no space, SJSU all capitalized, ESSC all capitalized. So it does give you access to our Facebook, and that way you can keep in touch not only with us, but you can keep track of like important deadlines. Like right now, we apparently just posted 3 hours ago, August 31st, last day to drop, September 8th, last day to add classes. So yeah, And then we have like important workshops on here. And yeah, just also like facts about us, like SJSU ranked #1 most transformative by money. So yeah, we will have like things on there. It looks like he updates it pretty frequently. So yeah, and it has, we also have a career advisor like on staff. Their name is Kelly Masijian. And the updated hours are on our Facebook and ESSC page. So you can feel free to like see them if you're having more of a career advising question. And again, everything is online that we're having.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Any other questions? Yes, David, I see you have a question that's not universal. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start.